is a very important, crucial, integral, say whatever, part of forensic science, but people think that it is a very easy discipline and you just have to, match two signatures or see the handwriting, see how it is written, and uh, it is an easy job to, come to a conclusion. But that's not how things work in this particular discipline. But before we hop on to question document, there are a few aspects that I want to touch upon, which I feel most of us as forensic scientists, or to be forensic scientists, budding forensic scientists, don't know, and that is the legal part. Uh, I may ask you all if you guys are aware that which particular section in our Bear Act has been added, which actually mandates our presence at the scene of crime. So you know that these days, not just the investigating officer, but us, forensic scientists or crime scene expert, crime scene investigator, they are also visiting the scene of crime. So what exactly is mandating us? Why are we going and processing the crime scene and collecting evidence? So there is a law for that that has been made, uh, like in 2023. It has been incorporated recently. It was not there earlier. However, some of the states were already doing this job, but now since the old laws have been supplanted with the new ones, that the now we have BNS, BNSS, and BSA, which we'll talk about in detail, because I feel even if you are in bachelor's or master's of forensic science, no matter where you are, this particular aspect is not taught in most of our universities, which we when we, after finishing off our degree, when we go and actually do these things, this is one aspect that we lack on. That is the legal provision, the unawareness about legal provision. So no matter which topic, which discipline you are studying, it is my habit that I always include the law, the legal part in it, because if you ask me, law and forensic science go hand in hand. So question document, I'm sure that you can study, and you will, I'm sure you must have covered in your universities as well. But no matter which discipline you are studying, always make sure that you are also covering the legal provisions, the case studies, to get a better picture, right? uh, so now let's, you know, I asked you a question that if anyone is aware, why we should, why forensic people are going, which is that section that is, mandating our presence at the scene of crime. Is anyone aware of that particular section? Because ultimately our goal is, after doing our degree, we want to go to the scene of crime, we want to collect evidence, we want to analyze evidence. But why should we? Do you know why? Which section is mandating that particular thing? Any idea? Even if you don't, it's fine. We'll talk about it. And I want those who are present in this particular session, I want you guys to be with, to be present with a pen and paper, because even if I open my presentation, you will not get much information. It's just you'll have to use your auditory skill for this particular session. So be ready with your pen and paper, and if I'm asking a question, even if you don't know, then tell me that you don't know, and I should go ahead and tell you the answer. No one? Okay. So before we proceed to which particular section is mandating, why should we go, what is question document, which particular section defines document, and all of that, let's start with, I'll share my screen and continue. Entire screen start. Okay. I hope my screen is visible. Is it visible, Paul?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, visible.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So now we have three barracks. One is BNSS. Keep writing, because not you will not get. Huh?
No, no.
Somebody's mic is unmuted. Okay. Oh, earlier we had IPC, Indian Penal Code, Criminal Procedure Code, and Indian Evidence Act. Now we have three new acts. One is BNSS, which is Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita 2023, right? Now this replaces CRPC. BNSS replaces CRPC. Okay? This particular act or law, it defines how a crime is handled after it happens. So it tells the police how to investigate crimes, right? So for example, if someone steals my phone, so BNSS guides what the police and court should do next. Aage, what is the procedure that they need to follow? So BNSS is procedural act. It defines the crime and it defines the procedure, right? So this is about BNSS, which is Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Samhita, and this you should know even for your UGC or your, if you are undergraduates. I'm not sure about the audience. These questions are asked in NFAT also and in UGC also. So it's not just for this training session. It is going to go beyond this particular session, right? So BNSS replaces CRPC. BNS replaces, which is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, it replaces the old IPC, Indian Penal Code. So think of it as what is considered a crime and its punishment. So it basically deals with the punishment part. So it defines crime like theft, murder, rape, etc. So the definition is there and the punishment is there. For example, if you ask me, if someone commits a murder, BNS tells what crime it is. So it defines that this particular thing has happened. So this falls into the category of murder, and what punishment the person may face. Now, whether it is a very heinous crime or it is culpable homicide, or that is also categorized in this particular BEAR Act, which is BNS. The third act is BSA, which is Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam, which replaces your Indian Evidence Act. Now, think of it as what kind of proof is acceptable in court, right? Now, what evidence is valid in court? It also tells how evidence should be presented and checked, which is one part that most of the experts lack. We don't know how to present our report, how to present our findings in the court. When we go for cross, it is something that we lack on. It even if we have analyzed with our own hands, we don't know how to present it in the court of law, how to convince the judge with our findings. And that's why most of the cases go in down the drain, because we don't know, the scientific hand doesn't know how to give the testimony. And when you are in that kind of setup, it is very intimidating. So it's better that you start practicing right on wherever you are, BSc, MSc, you start practicing via moot courts. So there is something called moot court where you can collaborate with law people and law graduates, and then you can go on and have a feel of it, right? So BSA is Bharatiya Saksh Adhiniyam, replaces Indian Evidence Act. So for example, if there is a CCTV video of a theft, so BSA actually guides whether and how that video can be used in court, right? So this was about three legal provisions that we have. Now talking about few very important sections, please note it down. I will ask at the end of the session, I will ask these sections and you should be aware of it. And now if anybody asks you also, you should be well versed with these sections, that ma'am, sir, because of this section I have to be at the scene of crime, or I shouldn't be at the scene of crime. That is also there, right? So let's talk about the legal provisions. Once I finish this off, then we will go to question document. Now one section is section 175 of BNSS, right? So it basically grants a police officer the authority to investigate a cognizable case without magistrate's order. He doesn't have to wait for any order. Once he receives an information, uh, he has to he has the particular he has the authority to investigate. So section 175 talks about the power that a police officer has, right? So 175 means that a police officer has the authority to investigate an offense. Now talking about next section is 176, which says that if any information is received, an officer in charge of police station, that is your SHO, and SHO has reason to suspect that a crime has occurred, right? And he should take cognizance of such an offense, and he should proceed in person to the scene of crime to investigate facts and to make arrest. So 175 talks about the power and 176 talks about the procedure. So 175 is that police officer has the authority to investigate a scene of crime. 176 is that if an information is received, that then he has to go in person to the scene of crime. So now, like, if you have seen that if you dial on 112, and if you tell them that I am here and something has happened, then it becomes their not just the moral duty, their duty to be present at the scene of crime and to help you in whatever way you are stuck at. So 176 gives them the procedure what is to be followed. They make a general diary. The police officer, when they receive the information, they not right away they file an FIR. They make a general diary of, and then they say that okay, we have received this case and this information, and then now we are proceeding at this particular date and time. We are proceeding to the scene of crime. Address is this. Till that time, there is no section that is filled. This it is just a general information that is filled at that particular time. And once they take the cognizance of everything, then they register the case, which becomes your FIR, first information report. Now this is 176. Now coming to a very important section that is relevant for us. This was about police. Now for us, a very important section is there, which is section 176, subsection 3. Remember it, learn it by whichever way you want to do it. You just learn this particular section. So 176 subsection 3 mandates forensic investigation of offenses with 7 or more years of imprisonment. So any case which has imprisonment in BNS, which has imprisonment of 7 or more years, any heinous crime cases, a forensic investigation is to be done. By forensic investigation, I mean, or the law means, that a forensic expert has to be there. A forensic expert collecting the evidence, will be processing the scene of crime, will help the investigating officer with everything. He has to be there, right? So this was for us, that 176 subsection 3, it becomes the duty, even if, like, if in some of the cases, if it is not done, the defense will definitely win the case without even much hearing. So now the police state machinery has made it mandatory for all the cases जिसमें offense 7 years से उससे ज़्यादा है, right? Now another section is 105, new section, a very important section. I always say that it's a beautiful addition to our investigation, which is 105 of BNSS. Now, what happens in this particular section is that it is mandating that all the search and seizure proceedings, whenever the investigating officer is at the scene of crime, whatever he is searching, whatever he is getting, that should be audiographed, videographed by electronic means, including the preparation of Caesar. Whatever evidence, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, whatever evidence you are getting, the list is prepared at the scene of crime. So that list is, it's called Caesar list. That list, along with the witnesses signature, everything is to be recorded so that there is no chance of tampering or manipulation at the later end. Once you are at the scene of crime and you are collecting, 105 is telling you to audiograph it and videograph it. Now, if not just videography, you have to also in a commentary mode, you have to tell, like, now I am approaching. I will also ask Nagesh sir if I can take crime scene investigation class. I am sure that it has already been covered, but I want one class on that so that I can tell you, because I keep visiting the scenes. So I want you to understand what really happens from new laws, as per new laws, what we do at the scene of crime. If you guys are interested, I will ask sir to that we should have one session, maybe 45 minutes of session on this particular thing. So this was about 105 audio video recording of all the evidences, all the search and seizure. So the moment we step in at the scene of crime, from the gate itself, from the location itself, the audio recording and the video recording has to be done. Audio, we say that audio is to be done when we are actually at the close proximity of the evidence. Only then let's do the audio. But initially, we do the audio that we have reached the location at this particular time, and now we are approaching the scene, and let's see what we'll get. And it has to be, we don't say let's see what we will get, but it has to be done in a very formal manner. Very, you have to be very accurate when you are talking about the processing of crime scene. And the last section, I'll not bore you with the section, but believe me, these four sections are very important. Fourth section is section 39 of BSA, which replaces section 45 of Indian Evidence Act. Section 39 deals with opinion of experts. You all are going to be forensic experts in future. This particular section deals with you. Now it states that the whenever the court has to make an opinion, needs to form an opinion on a matter of foreign law, science, art, or any other field, and very categorically they are mentioning, or on identity of handwriting or fingerprint, then of expert, be it from from a government setup, now they have expanded it, and even the private experts are included. So section 39 talks about opinion of experts, and this is where under this section you will be called to give your testimony, and you'll have to present your report under this particular section, the opinion of experts, section 39. I will not take up this crime scene investigation because I was allotted question document. So let's go to question document. Till now, if somebody has any question, you can. Uh, but if you are okay with my speed and everything, then we'll switch on question document. Any question for these sections, please uh, throw it on me. Shoot it. No section. No questions. No on any section. Everything is clear. I was told that you guys ask a lot of questions, so why not in this session? Please ask questions if you have any. I hope, if ma'am, can you repeat on section 105? Right. Okay. Judith, section 105. Okay, 176. Right. I would appreciate if I get to hear your voice as well. So, I don't like taking virtual classes as such. I want human interaction. So, if I can get your audio, presence, then it would be great. So, Judith, answering your question, 105. So, it is mandating that whenever an investigating officer is going to the scene of crime. Everything, all the search and seizure. So once you go to the scene of crime, there are few steps that we follow, right? You guys are aware of it. But ultimately our goal is to search for the evidence, to to be able to connect the dots, to be able to apprehend the perpetrator and other things, to be able to give justice to the victim. So for ultimately our goal is to ensure justice, and for this particular purpose we have to go and do the whatever techniques that we need to do, for whatever process that we need to follow. So it only says that however you are searching the scene, right from the beginning, wherever you are getting the evidence and whatever evidence you are getting, you need to do audio and video recording of the entire process from the beginning till the end. You need to do audio recording, that now I am entering the scene, I am going in the hallway, and I am going to. So this is how we are expected to do now, the investigating officer. And if you are called in 176 subsection 3, then even you are helping, because if you are helping for searching of the evidence, there are times when usually the investigating officer, the police officer does it, but there are times when uh, even the forensic officer should do it, right? So it is basically telling that everything, all the process should be earlier what we were doing. Let me give you a brief aspect from the later from the earlier stages. What we were doing was we were only sketching it, we were taking notes, and we were taking photographs. Now we have to take videograph mandatory. It has been made under section 105 that you need to take videograph. Photographs were not giving uh, you know uh, minutely, they were not giving better visualization, and there were a lot of times where manipulation were happening. So now it the law says that whenever you are going to the scene of crime, you need to not just photograph, document, sketch it, you need to also go for videography. And whenever you are videographing also, you need to record everything in audio mode also. So whatever you are getting, suppose you are getting evidence, like you are getting a knife, probably you are getting blood pool, so you have to tell ki over here uh, we can see that there is a pool of blood. Then you need to scale it down, and then you need to photograph. But you need to tell that in this particular room we are getting blood pool, in this particular room we have got see we are getting fingerprints over here, and there are fingerprints of two people. We need to if you can make the assumption at the scene of crime, you can. Otherwise you can just say ki you've got two fingerprints. So all of this has to be audio and video recorded, so that at later stages the investigating officer or any other person, they do not have that much of leeway to manipulate things, or it shouldn't go waste. Your processing shouldn't go waste, right? So that's why the Caesar list, the list that we prepare is at the scene of crime, whatever evidence we get at the scene of crime, the list is prepared then and there. That is called Caesar list, and it should be recorded, videographed whenever you are writing one, whatever evidence you are getting here. Second, probable here, right? Second, pool of blood. So that everything is to be there, and it should be videographed and audiographed, that you are getting this. So Caesar list should have signatures of witnesses also, and that is also recorded. So now our when we talk about crime scene documentation, our documentation has expanded from note making, sketching, photography, to two more modes: video and audio. I hope I have made this thing clear, Judith. Now I had another question, which was 176, section 176. somebody had asked once, section 1, like I told you, section 175 granted authority to the police officer, right, to investigate crime scene with without magisterial orders. So a police officer has the authority to go at the scene of crime and to investigate case. This was about the authority part. Who has the authority to be at the scene of crime? So that has to be also, made.
Madam, small confusion.
Country.
Like earlierly, you said that 175 has the power and 176 is the procedure.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you are saying that in
No, I know.
176.
I only said that earlier when I was telling you about 175, and right now also I did not touch upon 176. I was telling you about 175, and then I was coming to 176. Um, and thank you for the clarification. I'll again say it, but I was talking about 175. I know the question is about 176, but I wanted to make it more clear, so I thought that I should touch upon 175 first and then come to 176. So 175 is about authority, is about power, that who should be at the scene of crime, and 176 is about the procedure. If information is received, a police officer has reasons to suspect the commission of an offense. When he goes, if he finds that a particular offense has occurred, has not occurred, that is secondary. But if he is receiving some information about an offense, either through telephone or through in person, then he has reason to believe that an offense has occurred, and he has to send report of the same, to take cognizance of such offense, and shall proceed in person to the spot to investigate facts. He can't just say, okay, I'll come tomorrow, or maybe, okay, you reach, I am coming. Or he can depute someone of the order, like of SIA, or maybe a higher, it depends from state to state. But he can depute a person, but he somebody from police has to be there, of ranks above SIA, right? And in person he has to go, he has to investigate fact, he has to discover the evidence, discover and arrest the offenders, he has to process the scene of crime. And in this process, if he has to call upon other people like us, or ambulance, to doctors or whatever, he has to do everything in between, right? So 176 tells us the procedure, 175 tells us the power, authority, 176 subsection 3 tells us about the forensic investigation, our section, right? 105 tells about the audio videography of the search and seizure crime scene, right? And 39 is also our section, opinion of experts. So these four sections, if you can just write it down somewhere, and make use of your rote memory and learn it, because it's going to be there till the end if you want to be in your field, because now I don't think that laws are going to change any sooner. So these sections are going to be there till a very long time, right? Now, any other query, or shall I just go to the QD section?
Ma'am, small doubt, ma'am.
Anjali?
Generally, the case investigation will be started from the IO will be the essay or more than the rank of essay, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this 175 is applicable for essay or any other police officer. Like
170, 175 is, right, good question. 175 is just saying that the police has the authority. Now, that is also defined, that who has to go at the scene of crime, who has the power to go at the scene of crime. But 175 is saying that police officer has the authority to investigate offenses. Right now, when you talk about this question is relevant because sometimes, even the beat officer gets, like in one of the cases, if you remember, the Naina Sahani case, the beat officer was there, the Tandoor Kand, right? If you have, I don't know if you've read the story or not. So a
Yeah.
beat officer, yeah, a beat officer was there. He was doing his duty, and he got the suspicion that something is burning, and the flames, the way it is burning, it is suggesting that something is suspicious. And he went ahead because the main gate was locked of the restaurant where it was happening. The main gate was locked, so he jumped through the backyard, and then he went and he saw that there is something in that tandoor. So in a way he's also investigating, and then he's telling the officers his whatever jurisdiction, it was of Noida, so the jurisdiction that he was from, so he must have reported that particular thing. But the preliminary examination, or the investigation was done by a beat officer only, but he does not actually have the authority, and that's why he has to call upon someone. He has to inform his superior, who he has to be there. Now he got to understand that something has happened, so it's his duty. If a you can't say that I don't have the power, so I will not catch hold of the offender, because it is not on me. The police, with by and large, they have the power to catch hold of the people, the suspect or offender, to give help to the people. So in fact, if there is a hit and trial case, accidental case, so a police officer won't say that it is not. Now things have become all the more different also. Even if it is not under your jurisdiction, you got to give help and support. So yes, anyone who is on SI or above the rank of SI has the power to investigate. But if somebody is there, even if as low as as a beat officer, then he can also preliminary investigate. But we don't call it investigate, but he can take cognizance, and then he can report it to his subordinates and to his superiors, and then they come and then they do the things. Because they usually, why they are not giving this power, because they are not that educated, and forensically they are not that trained. So that is why. But any people who are SIs and SHOs, they are getting training. Forensically, they are getting training now, even more, because uh, we are still in dearth of forensic people, experts, and so that's why the state wants at least the investigating officers should have basic understanding of how crime scene should be processed. So they are also getting trained now even more. Earlier, only ACPs, commissioners, and higher rank DSPs, they used to come and get the training, whereas they never used to go to the scene of crime. So that training used to go waste. And but those who actually go at the scene of crime nowadays, they are getting training through forensic experts only. So Pallavi ma'am, I am sure she has taken some of the sessions. So she has processed almost 200, 300 crime scenes now, and she gives training to police officers now. Okay, let's. I hope there is no other question. Let's go to QD, because the session is on QD, right? Okay. Uh, let's start with, because I uh, always start with sections. So if anybody of you can tell me what exactly is a questioned document without seeing the presentation. You guys are from masters or bachelors, if I may know. Please answer.
I'm a master student.
Master student. Okay. So what exactly is question document? What do you understand by questioned document? See, any answer is okay. Even if you give me half answer, I will really appreciate it. But no answer is not appreciated. What is the question document?
Any written document or any
Hmm?
symbol or anything that is malicious in a crime scene will be taken as question in a document. Like that should be something malicious, will be relating to the crime or will be related to the perpetrator.
Hmm. So suppose I have a question. Suppose you have an assignment to give, right? And you have not done it, and you have asked your friend to do it, right? And you are submitting it to your professors. So will it be considered a question document? Because in a way it is a forged document, right? Because it's not your handwriting, so you're uh, kind of fooling your professor. So is it going to be a question document?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Yes,
See,
because that's
you've given the definition of question document. You used a very strong word, malicious. So I wanted to know, understand whether it will be considered as a question document.
because I'm submitting a fast proof of myself, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
instead of mine, I'm submitting someone's handwriting as my handwriting,
That's right.
like my assignment.
Right.
So that should be a question, right?
Now, see
Um,
why I asked this question.
I'm not that much
Till the
sure about
time,
it.
yeah, yeah, no, 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 no. See, I like this kind of conversation with my students because it gives different perspective. Because my perspective, probably I can't impose whatever I know. I am telling it to you, but I can't impose my perspective on you. So that's why I ask question, because when you ask question you get to hear information that you guys are laced with. So when you say you used, I used question, you used malicious. Till the time your professor does not raise a suspect, a dispute over that particular handwriting, okay, and till the time there is no malicious intent, till the time it's not hurting anyone, till the time it's not bringing a negative outcome or impact, right? Until the time your professor does not decide to file a report on it, till that time it is not considered question document. So questioned, or it is not considered a wrong practice till that time. But if your professor decides that this is not to be done and I've been fooled and whatnot, these are forced signatures and this is not appreciated, and I will go and file a report against this student, then it becomes a question document. So basically what I meant was, now, you said malicious. Absolutely, there should be some intent for a crime. If I'm not sure whether you have read about mens rea or actus reus. Have you guys read about actus reus and mens rea? Two elements of crime? No?
Like they are somewhat related to judiciary right now.
No, 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 no. Now, don't think that we are uh, not a part of this system. We are very much so. It is basically it. You must have studied in criminology if there is a subject like that in your masters or bachelors. I'm not sure, but it defines uh, what crime is and why, what elements are considered if you want to say that this particular thing is a crime. So one is your mens rea is your intention, and actus reus is your action. So you should have an intention also, and there should be an action to complete that particular intention. Just having intention to do something will not be considered a crime. You want to slap someone, but you are not slapping that person, right? So it will not be a crime till the time you don't slap that particular person. So both the elements are important. Actus reus, I will write it, or maybe I'll send a PPT if I have. Actus reus and mens rea. Mens rea is your intention. Actus reus is your action for that to complete that intention. Anyways, so
Mansi is the guilty mind, ma'am.
yeah,
Guilty mind.
guilty mind. Yes. Yeah. So, okay. Now let's start and come here. So, before we understand what is a question document, we need to understand that what is a document. And it is defined earlier, it was in section 3 and section 129 IPC. Now it is defined in section 2D of BSA 20, which says that any matter which is expressed or recorded on any substance, irrespective of the writing instrument, writing substrate, and now it has categorically, it is saying including electronic and digital records. Earlier, this particular thing was not mentioned, intended for the purpose of recording that matter. Now, your report card, your will, your Aadhaar card, everything, because Aadhaar card is your identity proof. So you want to record that matter. And that's why you have that particular document. So that is a document. Any matter, irrespective of whichever way you are producing it, but is it is used to record that matter is your document, only document. So we have a variety of documents. We have administrative document, we have financial documents, right? We have legal documents. So we have a lot of variety of documents. Now, when these documents, if its origin, its content, its authenticity, its authorship, etc., is the genuinity is suspected, is disputed, is questioned, then it becomes a question document. So, a question document is basically any document that is disputed in the court of law. Court of law. You dispute it without, you saying, no, no, this is not my handwriting, this is not my document. But till the time you are not approaching, you are not going to the court, then there is no purpose of anything. You can fight all you want, but you have to go to civil, criminal, depending on the case. You have to go and you have to file a report, and then only it will be considered as a questioned document. And a lot of people say it as question document. No, it is questioned document, right? uh, Talking about question document, there are, I don't want to go in the history part and stuff, but there is something, because it is you guys are in masters, UGC net is also coming up. There is something called there was something called GEQD. What's that? And why am I
Government
saying
examination of
Ma'am,
question document.
government examiner for question document.
right? And do you know who was the first GEQD? So GEQD is not a place. GEQD is an examiner. It's a post. So this should be also clear. It's a government position for who was authorized to examine documents to determine authenticity and all of that. But who was the first GEQD? I'm not saying where was the first. Who was the first GEQD? Any idea? So this is a very important question. Uh, it used to come earlier, because nobody, actually, we all read about which one was the first GEQD, where was it first established, but we never read about who was the first government examiner of question document. So if you want to write it down, write, it was Mr. C.R. Hardless, HARDLESS. He was an examiner he was a police officer only, but in 1904 in Bengal, West Bengal, he was made the first GEQD. And he was made the first GQD, right? And then after a few years, there was someone called Brewster, F. Brewster, Brewster. In 1906, he was made the GQD, right? Earlier, it was in Bengal, but then shifted to Shimla. So first, uh, defined GEQD, if you say, if you ask me, the first GEQD was established in Shimla in 1906. The other one was in Kolkata, 1963. Uh, I, if I'm not wrong, it's 1963 only. You may check once. And Hyderabad was 1968. So 1906 Shimla, 1963 Kolkata, 1968 Hyderabad. Please check this Kolkata date. I am not very sure about the date here. Uh,
Ma'am,
so
it's
the
1964.
64. Okay, so 64 is it? So these three GQDs were there, and then it was earlier people who had chemistry background, only these people were in GQDs, because there was a thinking that we have to go for ink analysis and other things. So anyone who has the chemistry background, they were preferred more. So now it has come under FSC, FSLs only, CFSL, and GQD is gone now. It's not there anymore. Now we in FSLs and CFSLs, RFSLs, we have our own document division, and there is no such educational qualification limit that was earlier there, that you need to have a chemistry background. Anyone can become a question document expert nowadays. And if we talk about the father of question document, who was he? Albert Osborne, right? So let's not go there. Let's stick to what we need to, what is relevant. Um, so this was about question document, the definition. Now, if we talk about the scope, what all do we do in this particular division? Uh, if you guys, okay, so I know because a lot of you will have to go and watch IPL also. So we'll just finish off within 10 minutes, whatever I can cover today. Tomorrow, let's, discuss further. Uh, I'll take only 10 minutes of your time now. The second thing is scope. What all do we do in this particular division? So the first and the foremost thing that we get is comparison of handwriting and signature. Mostly 70 or 80% of the cases that we get is comparison of handwriting and signatures. But then sometimes because of the digitization and everything, we are also getting typewriting, handwritings, documents, photocopied, printers, printed documents, facsimile document, alterations, additions, erasures, or obliterations, all these that include forgery, that also we are getting. Indentation we hardly get. I have not seen in my 12 years of career of forensic science, I mean being in forensic science, I've not seen one case of indentation. We, however, check whenever we are doing preliminary examination, we do check about the document for indentation marks. But uh, precisely, if you ask me if we have ever got indented writings, decipherment of writing, we haven't yet got. A sequence of strokes we have got, whether the document is genuine or forged. Chart document also we have, only in one case I feel that we've got chart document, but usually because it is very difficult to decipher the writings in on chart documents, usually it is going without any opinion only. But we do get chart documents, and then counterfeit currencies, passport, everything, rubber stamp impression, everything is in the domain of question document. So sometimes even the seals that we use for packing the evidence, uh, that also sometimes come for the examination, for the analysis, and this comes in question document division only. Okay. Now the types of cases that we encounter is whether the writing, it belongs to this person, or somebody else? Is the signature genuine? Whether it is placed at a natural position. What does it mean? That whether it has been lifted from some document and transported to some other document, or lifted and pasted somewhere else. So that also is being asked. The investigating officers, if you are aware, they send us a list of questions. Do you guys know about the forwarding letter? What is a forwarding letter? Yes, no? Yes. Do you guys know about what a forwarding? No, ma'am. Okay, very important. See, the problem with the problem with my session is I feel that I should give maximum of what I know, and whatever I know I should give it back to my students. And that's why I am not able to, in my classes also, I do usually not able to stick to my lesson plans, the dates that we get, that in this particular date you should complete this thing. I'm not able to stick to that, because if you don't know what a forwarding letter is, a very basic thing, then I don't think that we should be starting with the document also. Okay, just to give you a gist, this I will cover up in the crime scene investigation part, but just giving you the gist. So when a case is comes to an investigating officer, he prepares, depending on the case, he prepares a list of questions that he wants us to answer. Now suppose he has got a document and he wants to know the authorship. So he will not just say that, uh, tell me if this particular signature is written by this particular, the signature that is present in this particular document. He will ask us n number of questions. If you can tell us about the placement of signature, if you can tell us the about the, now they have become so smart, the speed of the signature, whether it is matching or not. They will not ask us ki whether it is matching or not. They are asking us these many questions so that they make their case strong. So they are asking whether the signature that this person has done, whether it is in the natural position or not, whether do you feel that any impact of disease or old age or sickness can be seen. Now we are getting such questions, and you need to prepare yourself for such questions. You will not get questions like, okay, compare A and B. You will get questions like these. Please also comment on line quality of the handwriting or the signatures. So they are, if they are throwing this questions to you, you should be well versed with the theoretical aspect as well as the practical aspect. Now this particular question, whatever investigating officer has to ask us, they send it through a forwarding letter. They forward the case. The forwarding letter is that they are forwarding the case to you along with the documents, the description of document and everything is there, and what all questions he want us to answer, that is also there. So it is called a forwarding letter, and then that is received at the FSL, at the chain of custody, and we receive and seeing, we see at the chain of custody only, we see whether the document that is there, that he is giving it to us, whether it is matching with the forwarding letter or not, whether it is possible for us to examine or not is secondary, but we sometimes we also give that then and there only, that okay, this is not possible for us, you come and you bring more signatures, more admitted signatures, or more requested signatures. So we do that also, but we need to see when we are at this chain of custody, whosoever is there, he sees everything, she sees everything, the forwarding letter and the document, the evidence that we are getting should match. If there is a discrepancy, we don't take the case. That is also there. Not every case is taken. If you feel that the forwarding letter says Aadhaar card bearing this number, and he's giving me Aadhaar card of some other number, you will not take the case, because ultimately then you are going to get punished, because he will say, I gave you this Aadhaar card and you are showing this Aadhaar card to Judge Saab. and you will not have any answer. So please be very mindful. You have chosen a profession which is all about observation, common sense, and mindfulness. Anybody can learn forensic science. Any 12th pass student can also learn forensic science. But these 3 years plus 2 years of your education is not for theoretical things that you will learn. That is also important. I'm not saying, I'm not demeaning the theory part, but our uh, subject, the beauty of our subject is it's all practical. The more you do it, the more you go at the scene of crime, the more you will learn. It's not that you, but it's my duty as a teacher, it's my duty to tell you the do's and don'ts. I started my journey from Hyderabad only, and I had a very hard time understanding things because we were also not told things. But I feel that it is my basic duty that you should know at least this much. So today you got to know about the sections, you got to know about the forwarding letter, you got to know about when a document is considered as a document and a question document. Tomorrow we will also, I want you to come up with questions, whatever questions in question document, in crime scene investigation you have, you bring it, we'll discuss it. And tomorrow I want the session to be a little more interactive. Let's ask questions. I will also ask question. You also ask questions. We'll have a discussion, interactive session. You will also enjoy it. It shouldn't be just me blabbering, because then there is no point. I know that it becomes very difficult without a person being visible to you, and other things. It becomes difficult to attend a virtual class. So if you want it to be interactive, engaging, I want you to also indulge in conversations. We are having a conversation. It's not a teaching class. My classes are never a lecture. Never. I always ask questions. I always discuss things. And also in my fourth session, whenever it is going to happen, I want you to come with your case study, whichever case you feel very fascinating. You discuss among yourself. One case you bring, and we'll discuss about that in 15-20 minutes, right? Any case in the last session that I will have with you. But tomorrow we'll discuss how we examine the question document, how we take the question document, how we collect the specimens, what are the criterias, what are the advantages and disadvantages, right? So this is for tomorrow. And any question before we sign off? Anything that you want me to cover? I can also talk to Nageshwar, and we can also extend, if you feel that crime scene investigation part should be done once more, or any other part that you feel you are not very much well versed with. I can take that part if you feel, if you want. Otherwise, question document I am taking. Any question, anything, any suggestions? No.
Ma'am, can you go with the new advancements in forensic science?
New advancement. Okay, we'll cover that also. Uh, what's your name? It's Kolu. Shall I?
Ma'am was Ganesh.
Ganesh. Because okay, so Ganesh, we can talk about advancements definitely, because since we talked about 105. There are few things called, like we are using drones also for recording. We are using a variety of laser oriented crime scene sketching, crime scene processing. That has also come up. Few new instrumentation has also come up. But the only disadvantage that I feel is that we are not incorporating in FSLs whatever traditional and conventional methods that we were using. We are only using that because in India, we don't have any such standards called Daubert, Fry standards. I don't know if you have read about Daubert standard or Fry standard. We don't have any such standard in India. And so we are, whatever SOPs we have got, whatever manuals we have got from DFSS, we are still unfortunately using it. So no matter how much advancement happens or is happening, we are not unfortunately utilizing it, because we are using nanoparticles for fingerprint development, but we are not using at the scene of crime. We are still using black powder or fluorescent powder or magnetic powder. We have not elevated our standards above that, because nanoparticles are expensive. Nanoparticles require expertise and all of that, and we are not uh, well equipped with the technology. The professionals are also not well equipped with the technologies. So even when you guys will go, you will have to use those methods only. But we can talk about advancements, whatever I know, and other suggestions if you guys have any other topic. Okay, no. Let's cover this thing, QD, other parts. We'll do it tomorrow, same time, 6 o'clock, right? Uh, Bye, guys. Enjoy watching the finals. Yeah. Bye. Good night. Thank you. Thank you, Judith. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am.